Gupta-owned company Oakbay Investments is back in court fighting the National Prosecuting Authority's seizure of 180 million rand worth of assets.
Oakbay is facing off with the NPA in the Bloemfontein High Court in a bid to regain assets that were seized in connection with the Estina Dairy Farm project. The NPA alleges that funds meant for the dairy project were laundered and deposited into the Bank of Baroda accounts linked to the Gupta family. However, Oakbay argues that the state's case reflects a lack of understanding of the banking system.
What they say is, look at EN8 and you will see all the inflows and outflows from the beginning of Estina's account to the end. And it does not include any payments to Oakbay or any of these parties. But at the same time, look at the pool account and conclude that where Oakbay got 5 million out of the pool account, it came from Estina. No, look at Estina's account. It didn't pay Oakbay. All that Oakbay did was get money out of its account in the Bank of Baroda. And you can't spend the money twice. So the entire case, based on the pool account, is a damn squib. It's actually a failure to understand banking.
And for now, Afro Worldview reporter Namosa Pungula joins us live from Bloemfontein High Court this afternoon. A very good afternoon to you, Namosa. Thank you so much for your time and for joining us this afternoon. Perhaps just start off by giving us the latest details on what exactly transpired this afternoon in court.
Good afternoon to you and good afternoon to our viewers. We've just heard from the state, which is the NDPP in this case, just giving a brief of their presentation into this particular case. Basically, the state is saying that what the Oakbay Council has argued, the fact that Bank of Baroda has a pool account and that's where the money goes in, and then after that it's dispatched to different accounts, is something that is that does not have a leg to stand on. Basically what they are saying is that all transactions are done electronically. For the fact that Bank of Baroda has a pool account, it makes no difference, it's irrelevant, because just like any other bank, all banks have pool accounts. The difference is that Bank of Baroda's pool account is not with Bank of Baroda, but with Nedbank. Unlike other 4 big banks in South Africa, their pool is with them. But that's beside the point, because all transactions are done electronically. So it's a matter of a paper trail, which is something that earlier on this morning, Oakbay's council said. It's something that the state is relying on, and it is something that is not evident enough for them to say, indeed, the money Oakbay received from Bank of Baroda was through Estina and subsequently through the proceeds of crime. But now where the confusion comes in is where the state says, indeed, the money came from Estina, and the fact that the Oakbay account, as much as it is with Bank of Baroda, regardless of the fact that it was received at the same time as the money deposited by Estina, the state is saying that the Oakbay account is the one that received the money from Estina, because the court itself, it does not necessarily have to prove the guilty of the applicant, but it has that responsibility to take or to confiscate the property from Oakbay, because at the end of the day, the money they believe beyond reasonable doubt that indeed the money is linked to the Estina money that was deposited into Bank of Baroda. So right now we are still listening to the NDPP represented by Trangover, saying that they are indeed going to prove beyond reasonable doubt that they are within the rights or within the law to actually confiscate the amount that is linked to the charge. So we are going to hear after lunch as to how far they are going to go with their presentations, and if perhaps they can crush all that has been presented by Oakbay earlier this morning in order for them to to support their case and prove that the state has no leg to stand on in terms of confiscating the money that has been confiscated for Oakbay, and subsequently request that the money be released.
Now, last question, Nomusa. Now, the lawyer representing these 5 Gupta-linked companies argues that the National Prosecuting Authority is not entirely aware of these crimes that they're bringing against these companies. We do know now that the NDPP representation is currently giving representations now. Have they said anything about that?
What they have said earlier on is that the NDPP has relied on the flow of funds. They do not have substantial evidence to prove that indeed the money is linked to Estina. So therefore, if they do have evidence or compelling evidence, they must just release it to court so that the court can make a decision on the evidence that they would produce to court. But at this point in time, according to Oakbay or the Gupta-linked companies, there is no evidence brought by the NDPP to court to show that indeed they benefited from the proceeds of crime. Basically, what they are saying is that they had their credit with Bank of Baroda. So when they are claiming their credit, it doesn't necessarily mean that they are claiming from the money received from Estina or the money deposited by Estina into the pool account, which is Bank of Baroda. At this point in time, currently, it has been disputed by the NDPP, saying that a pool account makes no difference because transactions are made electronically.
Well, indeed, Nomusa.